Most people destroy their own power without realizing it. They give explanations when none are required. They talk when silence would command more respect. They justify decisions to people who have done nothing to earn an explanation. The moment you start explaining yourself, you lower your position. You shift from authority to defense, from confidence to permission. Strong people don't rush to be understood. Weak people panic when they are misunderstood. Look closely at successful, grounded men. They don't argue for approval. They don't overtalk. They don't defend every choice they make. They move, they decide, they live with the results. Explaining yourself is often fear wearing a mask of politeness. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of not being liked. But respect has never come from explaining. It comes from consistency, boundaries, and quiet certainty. The world doesn't reward the man who speaks the most. It listens to the man who speaks only when necessary. If you constantly explain your actions, your plans, your boundaries, you teach people one thing about you, that your confidence depends on their agreement. And once people sense that, they test you. They question you. They push you. Silence, on the other hand, creates weight. It forces others to fill the gap with their own assumptions. And most of the time, they assume strength. This is why the most powerful move you can make is simple. Stop explaining yourself. The first truth you need to understand is this: explanation invites judgment. When you explain your choices, you open the door for opinions that were never requested. You allow people to evaluate decisions that don't belong to them. When you say, "I chose this because," you're unconsciously asking for validation. You're saying, "Please agree with me so I can feel at peace." But peace doesn't come from agreement. It comes from alignment with your values. High-level individuals don't waste energy defending their path. They know that people who matter don't require explanations. And people who require explanations don't matter. In workplaces, relationships, friendships, this rule never changes. The more you explain, the less authority you carry. The Lord your love. Number one, for the Lord you appear. Silence isn't weakness, it's control. The second truth is that explanations signal insecurity, even when you don't feel insecure. You may think you're being respectful or clear, but to the outside world, constant explanation looks like doubt. Think about leaders you admire. They give direction, not justification. They state decisions, not emotional footnotes. Confidence is calm, insecurity is loud. Every extra sentence you add after your decision reduces its strength. Every apology you didn't need weakens your presence. You don't owe the world access to your reasoning. You owe yourself loyalty. When you stop explaining, you reclaim mental energy. You stop rehearsing conversations that never needed to happen. You stop proving your worth to people who were never qualified to measure it. This doesn't make you cold. It makes you grounded. The third truth is this: silence trains people how to treat you. If you always explain, people expect explanations. If you stay silent, people learn boundaries. Boundaries are not built through speeches. They are built through behavior. A calm no needs no explanation. A decision followed by silence is a closed door. The more comfortable you become with silence, the less manipulable you are. You stop being pulled into arguments. You stop being dragged into emotional negotiations. This is where true power lives. Not in dominance, not in aggression, but in restraint. The strongest men are not reactive, they are deliberate. They don't explain, they act. And when they do speak, people listen because they're not exhausted by constant noise. Stop explaining yourself, not because you are better than others, but because you finally respect yourself enough to stand still without permission. Silence is not absence, it is presence under control. And that is authority.